less than 2 weeks, man. I feel like they got a chance. Now, I'm not giving you my pick yet. As I did this past weekend. I waited until the Friday before the game, and I gave you my picks. I picked the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I also picked the Atlanta Falcons, too, to destroy the Green Bay Packers. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Shut up. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to give you my picks, man, but I'm going to tell you, it's not like 1998. I'm going to continue to say that. It's not like 1998 when the Falcons made the Super Bowl their only other time in team history. It's not like that year. And the Falcons had a decent team that year, a very good team. Obviously, they made it to the Super Bowl. But it's a totally different vibe than the 1998 Dirty Bird Falcons. By the way, what do y'all think about that? I got into a debate with a guy this past weekend. And he was calling the Falcons the Dirty Birds. Like, I don't feel like the Dirty Birds name should be attached to this year's Falcons team. I think the Dirty Birds is the 98-99 team. The team that went to the Super Bowl in 99. Like, the Dirty Birds to me is Chuck Smith and Jamal Anderson and O.J. Santiago and cats like that. I don't think that the Dirty Birds moniker should be carried over just to every team. No, the Dirty Birds, that name is specifically for the 98 team. What are your thoughts about that, man? I want to get your thoughts. This dude argued me to death. No, the Dirty Birds, this, that, and man, nobody don't use the Dirty Birds with the Atlanta Falcons in 2016. The Dirty Birds is 1998. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. You see the title of today's show? Quintorris Lopez Jones ain't never scared. For many of you that don't know it, you listen to the Doug Stewart Show. Quintorris Lopez Jones is actually the name that his mama gave him at birth. And I'm talking about the great Julio Jones, Falcons wide receiver. Right. Now ask me how a ninja from Foley, Alabama got a name like Quintorris Lopez Jones. I have no clue. I have no clue at all how a ninja from Foley, Alabama, I don't even know where the hell Foley, Alabama is. The first time I've ever heard of Foley, Alabama is when I heard of Julio Jones when he played football for the Alabama Crimson Tide. But that's his name. That's the name on his birth certificate. Quintorris Lopez Jones. He ain't never scared, man. Julio on the record. Julio says that the Falcons can get it done. He said that if the Falcons continue playing at a high level, they will defeat the Patriots or Steelers. This interview was done before the Super Bowl or before the NFC Championship game. He says they'll get it done on February 5th. Here's his quote. Yeah, I would say so. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about who is playing and what we're doing. It's all about us. If we go out there talking about the Falcons and don't have any mistakes or any big thing to set us back, most definitely we will win. He says it's all about us. And listen, we're going to talk about this ad nauseum over the next 2 weeks once again. I have to say that. I have to keep throwing out that disclaimer. But there's too many weapons. It's too many weapons. There's too many guys that can hurt you. There's too many guys. There's too many guys on this squad, on this team, that can take it deep. There's too much big play ability. Then add on top of it, the defense seems like they have just grown up right before our eyes in the last 6, 7, 8 weeks. Once again, the defense has stepped up. Everybody, all these rookies that they've added, all these guys are making plays. They're a well-meshed unit. Now, they are playing against the lowly, cheating-ass New England Patriots. They are. So you got to always look for the banana in the tailpipe. There's always a chance that something is going on when you're talking about the Patriots. And I know there's a lot of Patriots fans listening to me right now like, man, why don't you give the Patriots a break? No, I'm not giving the Patriots a break. The Patriots don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. That success that they've had over the last 15 years, I don't know how much of it had to do with cheating. I know that they're documented cheaters. That's what I know. So I don't know. Maybe they've been cheating from the very beginning. Maybe all of their success is based on cheating. Maybe it is. But I like the attitude of this team. In a nutshell, I love the attitude of this team. They have a confidence about themselves that they ain't scared. They ain't never scared. They bone crush out this bitch. They bone crusher, man. And whether you're talking about Devontae Freeman or Tevin Coleman or Justin Hardy or I don't even know, Aldrick Robinson, whoever you're talking about, man, everybody can make a play. They're sure-handed. Everybody on that offense is sure-handed. And then Matt Ryan, man. He's just playing phenomenal. A lot of discussion this morning. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. A lot of discussion this morning on the Puppet Factory. The Puppet Factory is ESPN, about Matt Ryan and where would you put him in the grand scheme of quarterbacks. Like, I had Matt Ryan throughout his career outside of this year. I had Matt Ryan, like, right in the middle of the pack, like 15 or 16 as far as ranking of quarterbacks that played in the game in any particular year in his entire 9-year career. And this year, man, he's definitely vaulted himself in the conversation, maybe top 4, 5, 6. And maybe you can even make an argument higher than that based on the fact that he's probably going to win the MVP award. You look at what they've done in the first 2 games in the playoffs, man, just unstoppable. He has put everything together. Bottom line is Quintorris Lopez Jones ain't scared. I think the Atlanta Falcons ain't scared. I think they got a real shot, man. They got a real shot, man. February 5th, Houston Texans. The Atlanta Falcons coming to town to get it done. And I'm with you, Quintorris Lopez Jones. I'm with you, Quintorris Lopez Jones. I think the Falcons can get it done. I haven't made my official pick yet. Once again, don't get it confused. I have not made my picks yet. Don't get it confused. We'll wait until next week, Friday, before we do all of those pleasantries. But I like the attitude of the team. I like Quintorris Lopez Jones saying, listen, man, if we just do what we got to do, we'll be fine. We will win the Super Bowl. That's coming from his mouth. I like that attitude. I like what I've seen on the field. I like everything about this team. Once again, in 98, I had trepidation about everything. You know, them even making it to the playoffs. They'd had this fantastic season. I think the Falcons went 14-2 maybe that year. 14-2, maybe 13-3. I can't remember. But in all of the wins, man, it just felt like, oh, man, they're doing it with smoke and mirror some kind of way. And this is no disrespect to the 98 team. This is no disrespect, but it were much more dynamic teams that year, in particular the 98 or the Minnesota Vikings from that 98 year. The Vikings that year, they had Randall Cunningham, Randy Moss, and Chris Carter were just going off. Smith, the running back, man, was just dynamic. Their defense had played great that year as well. And they had broken a record for scoring or something. Like, they ranked very high. The Falcons with this past year, they're number 8 on the all-time list as far as points in a season. But the Minnesota Vikings, man, had done the same thing, maybe even more. They were just unbeatable, and they went into Minnesota and beat the Vikings. I'm sorry to say it for you, Vince. Vince is one of the listeners from Minnesota. So they went to Minnesota, and they shocked the world. Nobody, let me just say this, nobody in Atlanta thought that they were going to beat the Minnesota Vikings on that Sunday, and they did it. Okay? They actually, I think that most people, if you poll people back during that time in Atlanta, we probably thought that they had a better chance in the Super Bowl and beating Denver, which that was kind of minimal as well. But I think more people probably thought that we had a chance to beat the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl year than we did of beating the Vikings in the NFC Championship game. That's how dynamic the Vikings were that year. And they made it to the Super Bowl, and they didn't win, obviously, man. But the point is a lot of people were kind of skeptical of the Falcons' chances in the playoffs that year. Not this year, man. This year, it's a totally different vibe. It's a totally different vibe. It's a totally different vibe, man. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll talk more about the game. I'll get your thoughts in the chat room on Spreaker.com. A lot to get into. We'll mix in a little NBA talk in today's show as well, man. Russell Westbrook, man, my favorite player in the world right now. He don't give a... Yeah, that boy's an absolute beast, so we'll talk about him, man, and Steve Kerr on the record saying these players clowning, talking about the NBA All-Star Game. So it's a bunch of little interesting things out there. In hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show, if you're new, in hour number 2, man, a little entertainment report, birthdays. We kind of talk about some of the prominent celebrity birthdays of today, as well as mixed in a little entertainment story or two. Stacy Dash, just like me, she ain't got no job. Trifling heifer. So a lot of things we get into today on the Doug Stewart Show, man. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Super Bowl talk all day long today. I'm going to read a lot of chat today, man. I'm going to read a lot of chat today on the show and get your thoughts about Super Bowl 51. LI. Yeah. And for the next 2 weeks, man, Super Bowl commentary. Yeah, I mean, kind of special because the home team is in the game. If you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, and you didn't know, I mean, we're based out of ATL, Georgia. ATL, home. And so, a lot of times, man, it's Atlanta, Georgia-centric type conversation. But now that the Falcons are in the Super Bowl, we're definitely going to get it in. You know what? Another thing I want to throw out there to the Stewies as well. I mentioned it like 10 minutes ago about the whole Dirty Bird thing. Like, I think the Dirty Bird name is just for that magical 98 year. Like, give me a name, a cool name for this year's Falcons team. I would think that it has to be something offense related. Give me a cool nickname, and maybe we can try to push that and get some national attention, and also bring some national attention to the Doug Stewart Show. You feel me? Help me out. So in the chat room, stop you damn haters. So in the chat room, man, give me your thoughts about a cool nickname for this year's Falcons team. And, you know, maybe we'll take the top 5 and we'll have a poll, you know, kind of like we do the Ball Penis Award Friday poll. Maybe we'll have a poll and pick the best one. Yeah, let's do something like that, man. Give me the nickname for this year's Atlanta Falcons team. All right, when we get back from the break, we'll jump into some chat, and I want to tell you where all of the Super Bowl players are from, or the majority of them. Yeah, we'll get to that conversation up next. This is the Doug Stewart Show.